All right, guys, what's up? This is Ben with DJN Sports Network. I'm going to be going over my week 2 picks. I think it's going to be an absolute bloodbath this week. This is going to be your big overreaction week. Some teams came out good, started hot, and some teams started out slow. And I don't know. We all know that over the course of the NFL year, good teams didn't always start the greatest. But I'm going to be talking about some of the Pigskin Pickem lines, which are, those lines come out on Tuesday and then they're stuck. Which is a really good thing because it helps you track where Las Vegas was on Tuesday. And then I'll talk about some of the line changes and some leans. One of the really good things about the Pigskin Pick'em is that it is kind of boiled down. It's definitely made for general public, people who are knowledgeable enough in betting that, they're cool with betting spreads, but, they may not be serious about it. And then it also gives you a consensus. So I've written down the the percentage of where these bets are going on each line. So I actually had I'm filming this Saturday night. I had the Browns Thursday night and lost on the hook. So, what can you do? It's half a point. I hate the 5.5 line. I think it's pretty, even though it's pretty significant now, I think a lot with the field goals, extra points getting moved back. That's actually a lot more of a significant number nowadays. But so to start it off, I got the the Falcons are going out to Dallas. So the line started out at 5.5 Cowboys, and then it moved. So I have a couple different lines here. I've got a Thursday and a Friday, or I've got a Thursday and then a Saturday night line move. So it started out at 5.5, then it went to -4 on Thursday night, and now it is at 3.5. So that means people are starting to kind of bet on the Falcons. Although 80% of the ESPN Pigskin Pick'em are going for the Cowboys. So, something to think about. Some people make a living fading the public. And for the most part, I think that's probably a pretty good. Sorry, this is Birdie. She's 7 weeks old. We love golf and we love birdies, not bogeys. But anyways, 80% of the people are jumping on the Cowboys here. So I got my Falcons hat on. I know I'm a homer a little bit, but if you ask my friends, I'm pretty reasonable about it. I just think that they want to win because their coach is on the line. I saw a video, Julio Jones. They were talking about, how does COVID affect your travel? And he was like, man, I don't care. We're here to win. So I think they're going to get it done. That's just me. I'm not sure about the Cowboys yet. Here's a great example of a week 2. Who knows? It might be an overreaction, but both these teams are 0-1. I'm going to be looking for 0-1 teams, but that doesn't really work against another 0-1 team. Over to the Bills and Dolphins. So Bills were a 5.5 point favorite. They're going to be in Miami. The line moved over to 6 and has stayed there. 95% of ESPN Pigskin Pick'em people are on the Bills. I thought the Bills could have won by a lot more than what they had against the Jets. That was actually a spread that I bet with my sports book as well. I think that the Bills they're pretty legit. I think they have a really good offense, a really scrappy little defense, and they're going to use Kyle Allen. He's going to run the ball. He's going to take a beating. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt, but I actually picked them to win their division. That was preseason. Cam Newton. I feel like both of them are going to make the playoffs this year. One will win the division, and the other one will probably grab a wild card. But give me the Bills here. I'm just going to try not to overthink it. And, a lot of times you go against the public, sure, but who knows? I mean, we'll see. Next game, I got the Bears are laying 5.5 against the Giants. No, I'm not. I'm not riding with the Bears. They got. I mean, the Lions just. I mean, what a meltdown! That was horrible. I don't trust the Bears at all to lay 5. And I watch Bo's videos. It's the same as I don't trust them 5.5 on anybody. Give me the Giants. I think that they're going to win outright. I really do. Next one, I got the Broncos are going to play in Pittsburgh. The line started off at 6.5 for the Steelers. It moved to 7.5 and then has been betted back down to 7. So just a touchdown. Here's a good 0-1 team. I told you guys I'm gonna be looking for 0-1 teams. I think the Steelers are really banged up. So I'm gonna probably take the Broncos here. This is kind of I don't know. We'll see. The Titans probably should have beat them by a lot more. I mean, their field goal kicker missed like 3 or 4 field goals. They may not be very good, but it just feels weird to roll with the Steelers again, as banged up as they are. They have a lot of injuries. So they might stall out a little bit. Like I said, week 2, I think it's going to be a bloodbath. So who knows? I'm taking the Broncos and the Pigskin Pickem. I'm not betting it with my sports book. All right, Lions and Packers. Lions are going to Green Bay. Green Bay started off as a 6.5 point favorite. They have stayed at 6.5 point favorite. Hey, actually, let me back up real quick. I forgot to mention I was going to talk about the percents of the public betting. Bills are 95%, Cowboys 80%, Browns were 85%. So the public lost last Thursday. Steelers are 94%. So that's a lot of people jumping on the Steelers there. Packers are 97%. 97% of the ESPN Pigskin Pick'em people are playing the Cowboys to beat the Lions by 6.5, aka a touchdown. I think the Lions are a little bit better than we got. Keenan Allen might be coming back. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. I just don't think that sometimes in the NFL you gotta go with what doesn't make sense, or go with your gut, or in my case you gotta go with your beard. But give me the Lions because it doesn't make sense. That's what I think. Oh wow, here we go. Jags and Titans. So Titans started off as a 10.5 point favorite. It's been bet down to 9 and 7. 8. You can find it pretty much anywhere. This line sucks. This is about as fun as taking a bath with your dad. So I will not take this bet with my sports book, but since I'm forced to take it with the ESPN Pigskin Pick'em, I've got the Titans right now, even at 10.5. I know Gardner Minshew had a good game, and they ended up beating the Colts outright. So they have a pretty good offense. I just think that the Titans are going to be able to run the ball. They're going to be able to control the clock, which is how you win by 2 scores. I'll probably get burned, and they'll probably be covering, 80% of the game. 90% of the game, up by 2 touchdowns, and then bam, a little backdoor cover right at the very end. The Jags win. I don't care. I'm not sure about the Jags yet, and I think the Titans are a little bit better than we thought. They went up to Denver. It was that was a kind of a scrappy game. Their field goal kicker missed a lot of points, but I think they're pretty good. We'll see. Jags defense sucks too, so something to think about. 89% are on the Titans. So that's not good for me, I guess, on this one. If you're trying to fade the public, which a lot of people do. All right. Vikings are going to the Colts. The Colts started off as a 2.5 point favorite. Now they are a 3 point favorite. So 74% are on the Vikings. I think I am too. It's the Colts. I just think that people can score at will on them, which is kind of the case for the Vikings too. They can probably is what Green Bay made it look like. Who's got the better running game? I'm going to give the Vikings the nod there. So it's kind of like who can control it better. I think Kirk Cousins. They just got really embarrassed too. So I'm going to be looking for them to kind of fire back a little bit. So here's another one I'm going to stay away from with the sports book, but ESPN Pigskin, give me the Vikings at 2.5. All right, Rams and Eagles. So LA is going out to Los Angeles, LA is going to Philadelphia. Eagles started off as a 1.5 underdog. They are now a point favorite. So I think Jordan Howard's coming back. So they got their running game. 0-1 team versus a 1-0 team. 76% of the public has the Rams. So they're betting the winner of the week 1. I like the Eagles here. So even at a point, I would take it with the sports book. But I mean, at the Pigskin Pickem, you're getting a lot of value here. They're an underdog. They can still lose by a point and you can win. So I'll take the Eagles there. All right. Chiefs and Chargers. Chiefs are going out to San Diego. They are an 8.5 point favorite. The line moved to 9 points. We had a saying last year, ride the Pats until they prove us wrong. Patriots until they prove us wrong. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm adding the Chiefs into that pot. Chiefs till they prove us wrong. They looked phenomenal against Houston. Clyde Edwards, if you play fantasy, he looks like a PPR machine. I mean, they can just do what they want. I think they were toying with him. It was gross. So, and the Chargers just did not look very stable. I didn't think that offense or defense really looked that good. So I think the Chiefs can go out there. I think they can roll them. Give me the Chiefs till they prove us wrong. All right. 97% of the public's on the Chiefs too, by the way. 49ers going out to the Jets. All right. We got two 0-1 teams. 97% are on the 49ers. And I am too. I thought the Jets were absolutely horrible. Wes he thinks Sam Darnold's, pretty, he's going to mold into a good quarterback. I thought that they got lucky to even score as many points as they did on the Bills last week. Jamison Crowder had some 70-yard. That should have been an 8-yard reception right there. I mean, that play shouldn't have happened. 49ers, I don't know. They're better. They're not to mention they're pissed off too. So, people talk about the travel and the COVID stuff. We'll see. It's week 2. I mean, we got to start tracking this stuff to start seeing if some of these road teams are having a hard time traveling this year versus other years. But it's just something that I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna try and tune out some of the static and some of the noise, and I just don't overthink it. The 49ers. So, all right, Ravens, Texans. Man, the Texans have had a hard. They're having a rough 2-game streak here. Chiefs for week 1. Now they're going to play the Ravens. Harbaugh always has his team ready week 1. I mean, they proved that. I was on the Ravens. That was another don't overthink it last week. But I think the Texans, here's a good 0-1 team going up against a 1-0 team. They're probably not going to win, but I don't know. Pigskins got it at 6.5. The line moved to 7. Now it's at 7.5. I would love it at 7.5 over a touchdown. ESPN's still under a touchdown at 6.5. That's a little sketchy, so that's kind of hard. I'll have to kind of, I'm going to take a look at that again tomorrow morning and see how I feel. But right now I got the Texans, and it's just kind of that. I'm going to try and ride that. I think the 0-1 team, I think Deshaun Watson's, he's a great quarterback. Maybe they're a little pissed off too. We'll see. 92% of the public is on the Ravens. All right, Panthers and Bucks. Here's another one. People are talking about this. I mean, this is going to be the Bucks all year. Trying to figure them out. And I'm one of them. I know I said, last video that I was going to be fading the Bucks all year long. Well, I don't know. I'm already looking at the Bucks here. I think that Tom Brady could. I think he's pissed off. And they're at 8.5. It just seems like their defense wasn't very good. The Panthers defense is not very good either. So score fest maybe. The line started off at 8.5. Now it's at 9. Oh man, I think. Well, actually, it looks like I have it circled as the Panthers. But I feel like my gut's telling me that the Buccaneers are going to kind of get it in check. So I'm kind of breaking my rule saying that I was going to fade the Bucks all year. I guess I'm a Bucks lean right now. That's going to be another, coin flip tomorrow morning. But over a touchdown, I thought that they should have kept it closer while I was watching the game. I picked the Saints last week. I thought the Saints were going to murder them, and it just didn't really look like that. I mean, they won, but it was kind of cheeky, Tyson Hill, their tight end, whatever he is, running back, wide receiver, quarterback, everything. He threw, they had a trick play. Brady, turned the ball over a little bit, so I don't know. I just feel like the Bucks are going to kind of turn it around here. All right, Pats going to the Seahawks. So the Seahawks played in Atlanta, and they put it on Atlanta pretty good. And Atlanta had a lot of offense. Matt Ryan had 450 yards, but it looked a lot like last year. They just cannot get it done in the red zone. Cam Newton and, playing Miami, it looks like they controlled the game really well, but, it just kind of felt a little bit choppy, even though they were really in control. He had to kind of run some touchdowns in. And I thought that the Seahawks really had to kind of open up their offense a little bit because, I feel like Pete Carroll knows that he doesn't have a defense this year, and he knows that a team like Atlanta can score quick and fast. So, even when they started getting ahead, he was still just laying it on because I think he's worried that they just don't have the stopping power this year. So he's just going to have to keep his, foot on the pedal, which is not a very Pete Carroll style. But I like the Pats here. I like the Patriots. Like I said earlier, Pats till they prove us wrong. I don't know why that should change because Cam Newton's the quarterback. It's Bill Belichick as an underdog. I don't know. Pete Carroll is tough to bet against too, but give me the Pats. All right, Redskins and Cardinals. I think the Redskins are not very good. I know they won last week, but the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, he's not going to hang around the pocket and wait for it because the real strength of the Washington football team. I think I said Redskins. I think I said Redskins, but he's not gonna wait around. They got a great pass rush. That's their they got an awesome defensive line. Chase Young, he's just a monster, and Kyler Murray's he's going to roll out of there and not hang around and get sacked and hurried up like Carson Wentz did last week. 88% of people are on the Cardinals, and I am too, especially at under a touchdown, 6.5. I don't think the Redskins are as good as, I think that's an overreaction right there. All right, Saints are going to play in Las Vegas. It's their first game of the year in Las Vegas. They're going to be hyped up. I feel like sharp money is all over Las Vegas. I feel like a lot of people are on Las Vegas. Even though the Pickem has 88% of the public on the Saints. Okay, they just won week 1. The Saints beat Tom Brady, and they're going to be amazing. Well, I'm going with the Raiders here at 5.5. I feel like this is a trap game. This is a sandwich game, like a really classic sandwich game for the Saints. Okay, week 1 they had the Bucks. They're sick of hearing about Tom Brady and the NFC South and all that, so they rev up. They beat him, kind of cheeky. I thought it was a little bit. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, trick plays and stuff. Sure. And they got Green Bay next week. So I went ahead and looked up, who their game is next week. They're playing Green Bay. They got that one circled. Las Vegas barely beat the Panthers. They're thinking that they're going to go in here and just kind of shut them all down. And it's a sandwich game. So I'm taking the Raiders here. And by the way, I went 10-6 last week. I won our ESPN Pickem week. So nice little PayPal prize. I went big on the Bills. That was my biggest bet last week. They covered, so that was good. I went 3 units on them. Happy to have that. Either way, like and subscribe. We appreciate y'all watching the videos, and let's, hopefully we can have another good week this week. But I don't know. It's going to be a sketchy week. I think all the overreactions and all the questions that we got answered. I think we just probably got about double the amount of questions to answer week 2. So, all right, y'all have a good one.